sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, upon whom be praise until the very end of our days. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to save us and give us steadfastness, guidance and mercy, and to save us on the day which is the judgment day. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, we're in a very blessed place. This place, as we mentioned, is the Masjid of Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu arda, and the conquest of Jerusalem, when Umar radiallahu anhu came to this blessed city. We're going to go through the details of the events, inshallah ta'ala, with the entire group in Masjid al-Aqsa, because that's where he came first. But shortly thereafter, he was invited by the Christians to come pray in the Church of the Holy Sepulchre that we went to and we visited. And one of the amazing things is that Umar radiallahu anhu, with his insight and his intellect and his wisdom, he refused the offer by the Christians to allow him to pray in their church. This, if you understand the amount of respect they had to offer a person liberating the city, a conqueror, to come pray in our holy site, is something very great. Because this city, which is known as Ilya, which is known as Bayt al-Maqdis, which is known as Quds, Jerusalem, has been known throughout human history to be a land of conquest and war. Even before the Romans, and even after that, this area was known to always take and change hands between empires. The Persians took over, the Romans took over. Then the Persians took over, the Romans were kicked out. The Jews were kicked out 3 times. So this area was known for severe animosity between different groups. Even before the Muslims gave conquest, there was a war that happened between the Jews and the Christians, where they killed 90,000 and expelled them. So the gravity of that offer is something we have to understand. The fact that they offered a liberator, a conqueror, to come pray in our holy site shows and emphasizes that Umar radiallahu anhu was simply another prophecy among the Christian nation, that there will be a peaceful liberator that will come and liberate this city. And this is why they refused to give the keys to anyone except the one who fit their description. The description of this peaceful liberator was amongst them. And when Umar ibn al-As tried to play a trick on them, which we're going to talk about, and say that I am the leader of the Muslims, which is true, he was the head general of the army, Umar ibn al-As radiallahu anhu arda, the one who accepted Islam in Fath Makkah. When he's going to get the keys, they looked at him and said, "You're not the guy. You're not the conqueror. You don't fit his description. Tell the leader of the Muslims to come." And they wrote to Umar radiallahu anhu, and we're going to talk about that. When Umar radiallahu anhu came, they saw his humility. They saw that his clothes had patches on them. He didn't have the arrogance of the emperors at that time, even though now he controlled from all the way the east, close to the borders of the empires which they haven't even seen yet. They had taken the Persians. And they see a man which was the most humble of men, walking into the city in complete humility, mimicking his Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And as he walks in here, and they offer him to pray, he says to them, "I refuse because I want to preserve your rights. That I know," and this was the statement of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his intellect. He said, "I know that if I pray here, the Muslims will take this place as a place of worship, and you will lose that right." And then what did he do? You yourself, subhanAllah, were in that church. How huge it is. How big that is. What you saw was what Umar radiallahu anhu saw. Because this is older than Islam, as Ustaz Jamil and our guides have told us. So what you saw is in this grandeur, obviously has some restoration, is what Umar radiallahu anhu saw. But he refused to pray there. And then one thing that just amazed me, and as we're walking here, it is literally by the cross. And we walked down here, and subhanAllah, he prayed in this area. And when he prayed in this area, then later Muslims took this place as a place of worship. This shows us, brothers and sisters, a few lessons. Number one, that Umar radiallahu anhu, the very first thing he did is that he sought to pray. That he always submitted his success to the success that was given to him by Allah Azza wa Jalla. تِلْكَ الدَّارُ الْآخِرَةُ الَّذِينَ لَا يُرِيدُونَ عُلُوًّا فِي الْأَرْضِ وَلَا فَسَادًا. This hereafter, this abode of paradise, is for those who don't want rank and status and oppression and corruption on earth. They are for those who seek to spread the message of peace and to spread the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to spread the message of Islam. He was the ayah Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talked about in the Quran. That's number one. And number two, he sought to preserve the sanctity and the honor of other people. Because you will never achieve or take the hearts of others or wish to preserve the message of Islam and relay that message if you are seen as an oppressor. This is the message of a Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam. Is he sought to preserve their sanctity and honor by knowing that this church was very important to them. And he preserved it, subhanAllah. Look at the difference between them and oppressors today. And lastly, Umar radiallahu anhu wrote a covenant which emphasized it over, I counted over 6 different ways they were going to preserve the safety of the people of Jerusalem, regardless of they were Jewish or Christian. And not only that, those who fought against them, he said to them, go back home if you wish, and stay if you wish, you are at peace. If you wish to join the Romans, you are at peace. No one is to harm you in your wealth or your bodies until you reach Rome. If you want to stay with us, you're welcome to stay with us. We are here to protect you. In 6 different ways. And this shows us something, brothers and sisters. On this day, where we receive the news of what people who are oppressors, who are tyrants, have no sanctity for honor, have no sanctity for religion, have no sanctity for life. On this day, they came into Masjid al-Aqsa and they forced themselves into our holy area, and their soldiers attacked our worshippers. No sanctity for humanity. On this day, we're visiting Masjid Umar ibn Khattab, where he offered them peace. And this is why, brothers and sisters, the message of Islam is very clear. They are not our teachers. These people are not our teachers. Our teacher is Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the one whom in the 8th year Hijrah, on the 20th of Ramadan, he walked into Mecca with his head lowered to the extent that they said he almost was making sajda, prostration, on top of his camel. And they asked him, what are you going to do with us? And he said, what do you think I will do with you? After you killed my family, after you tortured my companions, after I saw you killing the very first martyr of Islam, a woman, after all of this, he said to them, اذهبوا فأنتم الطلقاء. Go, for you are all free. They are not our teachers, brothers and sisters. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is our teacher. And that is why the strongest man of the companions, when he came, he implemented the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam with these people. Even though he had the greatest of strength. And you know Umar. You cannot cross Umar. Ever. And this is what he taught us even 1450 years later. In this blessed place, we still learning from Umar. Allahu Akbar. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gather us with Umar ibn Khattab. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala free us from the oppressors. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant this holy place and all of the places